Welcome back to the deep dive. Last time we were down in the seventh circle, first ring, with those violent against others in the boiling phlegathon. Nessus the centaur leading the way. Pretty intense stuff.
Definitely intense. And now we're descending further into the second ring of that same circle. Canto 13?
Right, Canto 13. And the theme shifts here, doesn't it? It's about violence, but directed inward.
Exactly. Violence against the self. And what's really striking, I think, is how Dante explores this. It's not just damnation. It offers some, well, surprisingly relevant lessons for navigating our lives, even today.
That's what I love about these deep dives, finding those universal threads. So this canto features,
Suicide.
right, and squanderers.
That's the breakdown. First, we encounter the souls of those who committed suicide. They're transformed into, well, these gnarled, thorny trees and bushes. A really bleak, twisted forest.
Trees. It's unexpected. Why trees?
Well, the idea of the contrapasso is that since they rejected their human bodies in life through self-destruction.
Ah, so in death they're denied human form.
Precisely. They become something less than human, rooted, immobile. And to make it worse, you have the harpies, these hideous bird-women creatures nesting in them, tearing at their leaves and branches, causing them constant pain. It's through this agony, actually, that Dante first hears a voice.
And this leads to Pier del Vigne.
Yes, Pier del Vigne, a major figure. He was chancellor, basically the right-hand man to Emperor Frederick II. Hugely powerful, influential.
So what happened to him? How did he end up here?
It's a story of courtly intrigue, really, jealousy, slander. His enemies poisoned the emperor's mind against him. He was accused of treason, imprisoned, blinded.
Awful.
Yeah, and in despair, believing his honor was irrecoverably lost, he took his own life in prison.
And his presence here, his story, it speaks to that danger of despair, doesn't it? How, like, external pressures and calumny can push someone to a point of no return.
Absolutely. It's a powerful warning about succumbing to hopelessness, about the irreversible nature of that final act. Dante even adds this detail that after the Last Judgment, when souls usually reunite with their bodies,
They don't.
they don't get their human bodies back. Their earthly remains will just hang on the branches of the trees they've become. It really underscores the sanctity of the physical life they rejected. It's a profound statement on valuing the gift of life, however difficult it gets.
Wow. Heavy stuff. Okay, so that's the suicides as trees. What about the other group, the squanderers?
Right, moving through this eerie wood, Dante and Virgil then see these naked souls running frantically, being chased and torn apart by savage black hounds.
Chased by hounds. Why?
These are the squanderers, people who recklessly destroyed their own wealth, their possessions. Giacomo da Sant'Andrea is mentioned, known for his, well, extreme wastefulness.
So the violence they did to their property is now turned back on them physically.
Kind of, yes. The hounds represent perhaps their own uncontrolled appetites or maybe creditors, stripping them bare, tearing them apart. It suggests our possessions can be seen as an extension of ourselves, and destroying them recklessly is a form of self-harm.
Interesting. And there's another figure here too, right? An unnamed suicide.
Yes, an anonymous Florentine who hanged himself in his own home. He takes refuge in one of the bushes, which itself is the soul of another suicide, but the hounds find him, and he's torn apart along with the bush.
And he blames Florence.
He does. He laments his city's fate and connects it to his own. He claims Florence brought ruin upon itself by abandoning its first patron.
Who was?
Well, the legend goes that Florence was originally dedicated to Mars, the god of war, but then it converted to Christianity and took St. John the Baptist as its patron.
Okay.
But according to the legend this soul repeats, the city kept a statue of Mars, sort of hidden away or maybe rebuilt on the Ponte Vecchio. And this lingering pagan influence, this divided loyalty, is seen as the source of Florence's constant internal fighting and strife.
So the city's own self-destructive tendencies mirroring the suicides.
Exactly. It connects the personal sin of self-destruction with a kind of civic self-destruction born from, unchecked passions, factionalism, maybe forgetting its true foundation. It's a lesson about moderation, perhaps. Whether it's personal spending or civic pride or political fervor, letting these things run wild without restraint leads to ruin.
It really makes you think about the internal wars we fight, personally or even collectively.
It really does. So this canto, 13, while depicting a truly grim part of hell, offers these quite potent reflections for our own journey, respecting life, avoiding despair, understanding how we treat our extensions like possessions, and the danger of unchecked passions, whether personal or civic.
It's all there, woven into this dark tapestry.
Definitely. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. As you navigate your own path, your own life journey, what seeds are you consciously nurturing within yourself? And maybe what external forces, like those hounds or whispers of slander, might be trying to influence your course, and how are you resisting them?
Powerful questions indeed. Something to really reflect on. Well, thank you for guiding us through this complex and thought provoking canto. And thank you all for joining us on this 13th Dupe Dive.